So as you can see, here in London's Chinatown, they've been celebrating New Year. And 2017 is the year of the fire rooster, which is predicted to bring all sorts of new and exciting challenges that can only be met by a combination of practicality and good old-fashioned hard work. And I wonder how capital markets are going to fare in 2017, given that they face one or two fire roosters of their own. Well, for many, it's about the introduction of MiFID II, which now is only months away. For the buy side, this means they have to wrestle with a whole new regime in terms of best execution and a complete rethink in terms of how research is consumed and paid for. For the sell side, it's even trickier, as one of their core business models, the broker crossing network, is going to have to change, either into a systematic internalizer, an MTF, or something else. One thing that is sure, though, is the regulators are going to make sure we're all following the spirit as well as the letter of the law. It's easy to dismiss all of this as just a bunch of European issues, but the truth is that most large asset managers act and certainly think globally, and so they need to solve for the highest level of regulatory hygiene, which for now is Europe. Of course, we've got Trump and Brexit to deal with, but I doubt they're going to throw anything into the mix that raises the regulatory bar. Of course, it was equities markets that bore the brunt of the original MiFID regulations when they were first introduced back in 2007. Incidentally, the year of the pig. But in that time, these markets have undergone almost a secular transition from active fund management through to passive fund management. And this has propelled the ETF industry into a $1 trillion business that covers not just equities, but also fixed income and commodities too. But what happens if the market is just tracking itself? Is it just a dragon chasing its own tail? And more importantly, what happens if we all need to rush for the exits at the same time? The outlook for derivatives, which actually thrive on uncertainty, looks more positive, especially if we see a return to more normal levels of interest rates, which should be good for volumes. I guess the issue with fixed income, however, is that it remains an enigma. The regulator's preferred model of cleared lit markets simply doesn't work in an RFQ-dominated world like fixed income. And in any event, there's just much too much vested interest in the status quo for any clear changes to become apparent soon. And lastly, of course, there's FX, which up to now has pretty much withstood the regulator's gaze, at least in terms of market structure. But there are signs that it's been introducing one or two of its own preemptive measures in areas such as best execution in order to keep things that way. So where does technology fit in all of this? Well, my view is that 2017 needs to be where we address profitability, as for too long this has taken a back seat to simply keeping up with the new rules. And that's why firms are really looking to address where they fit between buy sides, sell sides and exchanges, either with new operating models or with new types of technology. This quest has also reignited the build versus buy dilemma, as maintaining separate stacks of technology is a huge drag on the bottom line. And some firms are even going further and are collapsing these vertical stacks into horizontal layers, thereby knocking out duplicate cost and providing a more powerful and therefore profitable service to customers. It also helps explain some of the blockchain or DLT initiatives you've been reading about, because firms are recognizing that in post-trade, being effective without being highly efficient at the same time is simply not a practical way forward. The good news here, though, is that all the cool things in blockchain, smart contracts, exceptions-based workflow, and use of standards are all available now, and we don't have to wait until we're all on some huge virtual ledger. Apparently romantic advice for those of us in the year of the fire rooster is either to marry or break up. And I think we're going to see something similar in our industry, as firms either decide where they are in the new ecosystem and gear up accordingly, or simply find something else to do. But it's about having the right tools for the job, in particular those that enable high and low touch trading to be points on a spectrum rather than completely separate service lines. And getting this right means having technology that's global in scope, highly flexible, and built with both the buy and the sell side in mind. That way we'll find that all the hard work we'll end up doing in 2017 will be both profitable and also highly practical.